Sit down. Diksha Joshi.
Yes, sir.
Diksha, introduce yourself.
So my name is Diksha Joshi. I come from Pithoragarh in Uttarakhand, wherein I have done most of my primary education. Thereafter moving to Dehradun, I hold a bachelor's degree in medicine and surgery from the Himalayan Institute of Medical Sciences, Dehradun. And I have completed 1 year of compulsory internship from the Government Medical College in 2019. And ever since then, I have been preparing for the civil services examination. So with regard to a few hobbies, I take interest in painting airpen, writing letters, and doing aerobics.
And doing aerobics?
Yes, ma'am.
But why, are you not working anywhere?
No, so currently I am not working.
Okay. We start with Dr. Sinha.
Diksha,
Yes, sir.
you have also been school vice captain,
Yes, sir.
right? And you are in Wellams Girls' School, very prestigious school.
Yes, sir.
So, tell us, what are your good leadership qualities?
So I believe the qualities that I have is that I can bring about coordination in the team. I have good decision-making capabilities. I also think that I am compassionate enough to understand the problems of the members who are working under me and then lead them in a right direction.
Okay. And which of these qualities will help you when you become the district magistrate of Pithoragarh?
So I believe all of them because...
One particular.
So I think the most appropriate would be a good decision-making capability to understand the needs of the district per se and make a right choice which will be beneficial for the largest number of people in the district.
Right. And tell me one leadership quality which you don't have and you wish you had, because it is very important for being a decision maker, district magistrate.
So sometimes I think that there is a quality that I overthink a little bit, and that could go in a negative direction, that in a sense that probably I might take a wrong decision or think in a wrong way. But I am working on it to be as objective as possible whenever I am doing
All right. You are also editor of your school magazine.
Yes, sir.
Science magazine.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of Lancet?
Yes, sir.
It's been in controversy over the last couple of years, last few years. Tell us why.
So I am not aware of the
You're not
controversy.
aware. Linked to the COVID-19 papers that have been published?
Sorry, sir.
You're not aware of that. Okay. So, you keep a close watch on the state of affairs of media freedom, on democracy in our country.
Yes, sir.
There are reports which show that on the global index, India is on the decline in the field of media freedom or democracy. What is your opinion?
So there have been reports like the World Press Freedom Index, which said that India has fallen in the, it is not providing as much as freedom of speech and expression to the media. But sir, I am of the opinion that there have been alleged cases that have been coming up, but even then the government in the country has been providing enough freedom to the journalists and the press persons to express their opinions and to criticize government policies.
Okay, that's your opinion. But haven't you read that a lot of senior editors, journalists, they're saying that no, we feel somehow shackled, we are unable to work. Have you read about these things
Yes,
ever?
sir.
Why they're saying this?
So because many a times it has been seen that certain statements or remarks that such senior journalists or media houses make, which are taken to be against government, and that is when the government has a stand that it hampers the peace and the security in the country, or it is against national interest. It is only in such cases that there have been a conflict, but
then that's a matter of concern.
Exactly, sir.
When journalists are saying that we cannot function, That's a matter of concern.
I agree, sir, that is the case. But despite that, we have seen that the journalists are coming up, and also that we have the liberty that such journalists are able to bring in their viewpoint to the public at large, which I think is a testimony that we are providing
All right.
them enough
Okay.
freedom.
Last question. You take interest in foreign affairs?
Sorry, sir.
Foreign affairs?
Yes, sir.
You do take it. Have you heard of Human Rights Council?
Yes, sir.
Why is it in the news?
So, of late that I can remember, one was its allegation of the human rights violation in India with respect to Jammu and Kashmir issue. They have also been raising concerns with regard to violation with the Armed Forces Special Protection Act in the
But
North.
this is it immediately in the last few days or weeks? Or you're talking about something a long time back?
So, this is what I am aware of.
Something which is in the last few days
Sorry, sir.
regarding Russia.
Yes, sir.
What is it?
The Russia-Ukraine war that has been going on. So, in the recent case, there were reports of bombings and shellings in the civilian centers, specifically Bucha and other places. That is when the Human Rights Council has raised a concern that the civilians should not be the target because.
Okay, you tell me what is the function of Human Rights Council? Briefly.
So, the function of Human Rights Council is to uphold certain human rights that all of us as being human beings deserve,
Okay.
such as.
Is India a member of Human Rights Council?
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir, as far as I remember.
When was it elected?
I am not sure of the year of election.
You're not. Okay. Thank you.
Diksha, do you keep yourself updated about the current affairs?
Yes, sir.
You do.
Yes, sir.
Now, recently, under the new education policy, government has introduced a new system for entrance to the central universities.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware?
Yes, sir.
What are your views on this?
So, I believe that the idea of introduction of the common university entrance test is appropriate in a sense that it will provide a common platform to the students, because we have seen that the rankings or the cutoffs for certain universities going at a very high level. There has also been discrepancy that certain boards allot lesser number of marks and certain a lot more marks. So it will bring a parity with regard to that. However, the students have raised concern that this is the first time and they are not aware of the how the exam is going to be conducted, and also that we see it might shift the focus from the school education to more of competitive exam arena. That is one of the causes of concern, but I think that if we streamline the process of admission and make it more integrated, it will be helpful in a long run.
No, but this written examination,
Yes, sir.
will it be based on some particular syllabus or?
So that is what is the main bone of contention and confusion right now, that what will be the exact syllabus and how the exam will be conducted.
No, government has stated something on that.
Yes, sir. They have said that it will be primarily the curriculum that will be based on what the students are reading in their board exams.
What curriculum? Any specific syllabus has been mentioned?
So I am not aware of the specific.
Okay. Let's move to a different subject. PVR, you know? PVR,
So
multi
with regard to,
multiplex,
yes, sir.
PVR multiplex,
Yes, sir.
and Inox multiplex.
Yes, sir.
They have merged together.
Okay.
They have announced merger. Okay. Why do you think this has come about?
So I am not sure of this.
Okay. Let's move to another subject. Gati Shakti plan of the government.
Yes, sir.
What is this?
So this is the plan of the government of India to speed up the infrastructure development in the country that is taking across. And they intend the national infrastructure pipeline that we have has been integrated with this, so that all our stalled infrastructure projects.
What exactly is this Gati Shakti?
So it is related to the.
How? No, you are stating the objectives.
Yes, sir.
perhaps you are right, but how does the government intend to do that? To achieve these objectives, what is the government doing?
So the government is bringing about so there have been certain plans that have been made.
No, under Gati Shakti I am talking, not generally. Under Gati Shakti, what is being done?
So as far as I remember, it is mostly related to the integration of the infrastructure.
How?
So I am not sure of the
Okay.
specifics.
Now, another subject. Did you read the union budget?
Yes.
Can you tell me some of the salient features?
So the most one is the component is what you mentioned about the Gati Shakti project.
Gati Shakti is not part of union budget. Sorry.
So, okay. So with regard to health infrastructure, that I remember is that they have talked about opening the mental health centers in the country.
Let's talk of some big ticket items. Not small items. The finance minister's speech itself was of 2 or 3 hours.
Yes, sir.
Just 2 or 3 important items.
So overall, the increment in the the increment in the health infrastructure overall because of the latest COVID-19 pandemic that we saw. So apart from that, there have been announcements with regard to so.
Okay.
I'm
My
sorry.
last question to you.
Yes, sir.
What sort of research was going on in Wuhan lab? You are a doctor,
Yes, sir.
so you would know much more than me. What sort of research was going on in Wuhan lab? You know, it is alleged that
Yes, sir.
the virus leaked from there.
Yes, sir. So, as far as the media has been reporting, it has been said that they were in making of a biological weapon. We are not really sure if that is because that has not
Biological weapon.
been. So, a virus or that was in making or in process of making. That has been alleged. However, it has not been proven as of now. So, we cannot specifically say because
No, but Wuhan lab was doing some research. I am not talking of what exactly happened there, whether it was deliberate or accidental.
yes, sir.
But what sort of research was going on there?
So they were experimenting on the microorganisms and how they can evolve over a period of time.
Okay, thank you, Diksha. Aradhana.
Diksha, you belong to Pithoragarh, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
What is Kranteshwar Mahadev?
Ma'am, I am not sure of Shanteshwar.
Okay. And do you know what is Chipla Jat?
No, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Chipla Kedar? Okay.
I'm sorry.
Why is Dehradun so named?
Ma'am, it is said that Dehradun was the center for Guru Rai, who established
Ram Rai.
Guru Ram Rai, who established a dera or a camp there. That is how the word derived its meaning. And over a period of time, the dera got changed to Dehra, and Doon is for the longitudinal valley. That
What is the famous Gurdwara called today?
Ma'am, in Dehradun.
Yeah, जिसमें नाम हुआ है.
Ma'am, I'm not sure. It is called the
Ram Rai Darbar.
Ram Rai Darbar.
And what is Jhanda Mela?
Ma'am, it is a very famous mela that happens in the same Gurdwara.
What do they do in that?
Ma'am, I am not.
Okay, doesn't matter. It's okay. You know, they say for Uttarakhand, it's Devbhumi, huh?
Yes,
Where
ma'am.
the gods walk on earth.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me an example of that.
Ma'am, I believe God's walk on earth in Uttarakhand would mean that how the people in itself in Uttarakhand are so compassionate and so friendly that...
No, the term is used for a specific thing. Not for the compassion or anything of the people.
Ma'am, I am not aware of the specific.
Okay, Nanda Devi is the goddess of bliss.
Okay.
Tell me how the natural phenomenon
Yes, ma'am.
cater to the cult of Nanda Devi.
So,
Shall I explain my question a little better?
yes, ma'am.
She is supposed to be the daughter and sister of every household. She was also a Kathuri. You know the Kathuris? Heard of the Kathuris?
Yes.
You know, Kathuri princess. And there are various mountain peaks related to, associated with Nanda Devi.
Yes,
Name
ma'am.
some of them.
Ma'am, one is the Nanda Devi peak itself.
It's one peak?
Uh,
It's one peak?
Ma'am, it's the highest, second highest peak that we have. And there is Nanda Devi.
Second highest peak we have means?
Ma'am, after Kanchenjunga, that
Achha,
is
in India, you're saying.
in India,
Okay.
it is labeled as the 2nd highest peak. Apart from that, ma'am, the Nanda Devi National Park that we have. Ma'am, we have a lot of temples also named after her.
Okay. Now, you're a young doctor, very promising, good education. Why do you want to join the IAS or even other services you have given, right down to, in the whole list, all of them, right down to number 17, you even opted for Air Force Headquarters Section Officers grade, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Puducherry Civil Service. Why? You're a doctor. Your country, your state needs doctors.
Ma'am, I understand the concern, and the primary motive for choosing civil services came in when I was doing my internship. And while I was doing my internship, I encountered some first-hand challenges during the delivery of healthcare system in the country, such as the lack of availability of right medicines, availability of doctors. And that is when I realized that as
There's lack of availability of doctors, you are reducing one more doctor from the system.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
I
okay.
understand that concern
But that
as
still
well.
doesn't answer why you have opted for Armed Forces Headquarters Civil Service Group B Section Officer grade. Still doesn't answer that. Anyway,
Ma'am,
we won't discuss it. You need to prepare. All right. So now you brought this issue of a doctor and how you can contribute, etc.
yes, ma'am.
Now I'm asking a specific question. Women's health in Uttarakhand.
Yes, ma'am.
If you were a doctor
Yes, ma'am.
serving there, or say you were the chief medical officer, chief medical superintendent in your district,
Yes, ma'am.
you know the difference CMS and CMO?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference?
Ma'am, the chief medical CMS is for a particular hospital. He is the medical
Correct,
superintendent.
correct. Okay, so you were the CMS or CMO. What would be your 3 biggest priorities to address this challenge? Second, if you were the DM or the health secretary, or separately you can tell, then what would be your 3 biggest priorities, highest top priorities?
Ma'am, the priorities with regard to women health in Uttarakhand, first would be the obstetric care, which is the antenatal care, which I believe is not being delivered.
Obstetric, your priority is antenatal and not delivery.
Ma'am, antenatal will include...
What is the institutional delivery rate in Uttarakhand?
Ma'am, it is above 90% as of now. And so antenatal...
So then why do you talk of shortage of doctors?
Ma'am, because the rate that we have derived is across the state, but in the hilly areas,
Which area in particular is the worst off?
Ma'am, I'm not aware of the worst off area, but from my personal experience that I can say is the district headquarters are well equipped, but if we go into the periphery, those are
So you would say the district headquarters of Haridwar is well served and the periphery of Haridwar district is not well served. Is that what you're saying?
Ma'am, this is mostly more prominent in case of hilly areas compared to the Tarai belt that we see in Uttarakhand. And
So you'd say Nainital is underserved?
ma'am, the district headquarters does have better facilities compared to
You would say Ranikhet is underserved?
Ma'am, not per se the
It's
district.
not district headquarters? It's a hilly area?
Yes, ma'am. But there are few areas like that which are underserved.
All right, get to the point now. Yeah.
So,
So one priority is antenatal care for women.
yes,
Then?
ma'am. Ma'am, second would be to reduce the
And
level.
antenatal care, which is the priority? What are the elements that you would focus on?
Ma'am, the priority area would be the antenatal visits and finding out the lack of nutrition per se that is there in women. For example, anemia incidence is very high. So that is one area.
So you need to find out about anemia incidence?
No, ma'am, I don't need to find out.
We already know.
Yes, ma'am.
That-
But,
How much % of pregnant women in India are anemic?
ma'am, we have the data that says that more than 70%.
You
it
don't
is.
need to know IFA standard everywhere.
Ma'am, what I meant was that specifically with regard to the particular individual who is anemic, because many a times women don't themselves know that they are suffering from lack of nutrition, and they are mostly reliant on the home care facilities that are available to them, such as local remedies that they take.
No, but for nutrition you don't need to go to a hospital. It is outreach. Nutrition counseling is through outreach. It is
Yes,
not a
ma'am.
hospital-based counselling.
Yes.
So home care is not the relevant point there.
Ma'am, this would be one aspect. Second would be the radiological diagnosis of the anomalies that are present. For example, if the child is growing at correct rate or not. If we
So
have,
that's your second priority. What is your third priority for women's health if you were a doctor?
ma'am, women's health in Uttarakhand, third priority would be the menstrual hygiene of women, especially again with regard
Okay,
to
all right.
more of the
Now,
hygiene.
if you were health secretary or district magistrate, what would be your three priorities then?
Ma'am, again the first, I will prioritize on the obstetric care of women. The second would
What
be,
incidentally is the MMR of Uttarakhand as compared to the country?
ma'am, the MMR of Uttarakhand stands at 103 per lakh women. And the recent report that
And
we
what
have,
is the national figure?
ma'am, it is 101 per lakh.
Okay.
That is the
Yes.
latest figure.
So the three priorities, huh? One would be, you said, what is it that you said?
Ma'am,
As health secretary?
Ma'am, the antenatal and obstetric
Okay,
care.
then?
Second, again, would be focusing on the nutrition aspect of the women.
Uh-huh.
And ma'am, third,
So there's really no difference between if you were a doctor or you were a health administrator. So why change? There you can give clinical care as well. If your priorities are the same.
Ma'am.
Anyway, yeah, you want to say something?
ma'am, I believe that as a doctor, it would be more at an individual level that the patient who is coming to me. But if the policy is able to reach them,
But a
maybe.
CMO would be the person who makes the policy for the district. He would not be an individual. He would not be attending to patients that come.
Yes,
You know
ma'am.
the difference between CMO and CMS?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have two more questions. One question is on this line only, which is why is tuberculosis high in Uttarakhand? What would you say?
Ma'am, the reason for higher rate of tuberculosis first is malnutrition, which is a major cause. Second, in the plain areas, it could be the overcrowding in the houses because again there is lack of distancing. And the third would be the awareness with regard to that.
What are the issues in tuberculosis control today in India? You do know FDC?
Yes, ma'am.
So are FDCs being used or not used in India?
Ma'am, we are using certain drugs in fixed combinations. We
Why
have
did,
the
why
dots.
did we get to that? Why did we change our regimen?
Ma'am, because of the rising incidence of resistance that we were seeing, and the shift was coming from the normal
Quite right.
tuberculosis. to-
And why was resistance increasing?
Ma'am, because the patients per se are not following the required treatment protocols and they are leaving their treatment in between.
Okay, my last question. Name 3 women-friendly legislations of late. Say in the last 5 years.
Um,
You can make it 7 years. Yeah.
Ma'am, one would be prevention of sexual harassment at workplace.
Which year was it?
2013.
All right, we'll let it pass. Yeah.
Ma'am, second would be the amendments that we have made in the POCSO Act with regard to women.
In which?
Ma'am, the protection of child.
So that's women? Okay, never mind. Thank you.
So Diksha,
yes,
let me ask you something which concerns your medical background.
yes,
Identical twins
yes.
and clones. What would be the difference in the genetic material in these two categories?
So, the identical twins would be of different types. It could be a monozygous or a dizygous twin.
I'm talking about identical twins.
Yes, sir. So that would include that most of their genetic makeup, if it is a dizygous twin, that would be a little different. But a clone would be an exact replica of the person that we tend to create, or an organism that we tend to create.
We'll talk about this when you come for the feedback. Biodiversity hotspots.
Yes, sir.
What would be the definition of a biodiversity hotspot?
So biodiversity hotspots are those areas which host certain species or organisms that are threatened. Sir, I am not sure of the specifics. If you allow me, I can take a guess.
We'll again talk about this. Guesses are not allowed. You should never take a guess. How many biodiversity spots in the world? Any idea?
So I am not sure of the word.
And India, how many biodiversity hotspots?
So 8.
Eight?
I'm not aware of the exact number.
Okay. Have you heard of the word cryptocurrency? It's been very much in the news.
Yes, sir.
What does it stand for?
So, cryptocurrency is a form of digital currency that is being used, which is based on the principle of blockchain, and that is being used for transaction in a lot of places.
What is the status in India?
So, as of now, we have not allowed cryptocurrency, but we are up for usage of digital currency as a means of transaction.
There was some announcement about this in the budget, are you aware?
Yes, so it was regarding the same thing that RBI has allowed for the usage of digital currency, which initially we said that it was an illegal tender, but
Are you sure? Anyway, let's move on. We all know that Ravan has 10 heads. Where did these heads come from? How is it that he has 10 heads and not a single one?
so I am not
You,
sure.
you've not been curious about this? Final question. Emotional intelligence. What is meant by emotional intelligence?
So, emotional intelligence of a person is the ability to understand one's emotions and to regulate them in a right manner.
Who is the person who gave prominence to this term?
So, David Goleman,
Daniel.
Dalian Goleman, is.
And he listed 5 features of emotional intelligence. Can you tell them what are those 5 features?
So, I do not exactly remember the terms, but
Right, thank you, Diksha.
Okay, Diksha, please wait for a few minutes. We'll call you for feedback.
thank you, sir.